Tonight, the traitors will have to off someone, but some of the faithfuls are still having chats.
I'm a competitive person, so I really like just like battle of the wits, battle of the minds with other people, and like trying to figure out like a mystery. If I even get like one like mystery figured out this season, like I will be happy. Like I just want to get get down to that one and like figure out one person, be like, I know you, like I know who is the traitor, like one time. That's all I'm trying to set myself up for. So I'm trying to just get to know people at this point because it's really early.
So I will fill you in on this little tidbit that it was just something I noticed, and I was taking notes last night. So I was noticing that people when I joined my second chat, Jason and Raven were already in there. And when I joined, they were still continuing their conversation, so I assumed that they were in the first group together and the second group. And then when I went into the backyard chat, they were talking about, do you think the traitors were told who they are already? And Raven was like, yeah, I think they were told who they are. She's like, yeah, they were definitely told who they are. And I haven't heard anything, so I was just wondering if you heard.
No news is probably means faithful, right? That's kind of
that's what I'm thinking.
I will. I don't know. I had two chats before the backyard, and Jason was in my first one.
Okay.
And Raven was not. I'm 90% certain.
Wow.
I don't think they shared the first chat.
Okay.
But they did seem, obviously they must have caught like together. Unless they had a traitor chat together. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But like
maybe.
Yeah,
I like them both. They both were like, I told Nick that they both were really good at like keeping up the conversation and like starting the conversation and getting things going in the chat, because I think a lot of people were just very quiet at first.
As of now, I do think Lauren is a faithful. She definitely screams faithful to me.
Well, you are doing really great at starting conversation, because I've been trying to just like see where people are coming from with their conversations, and I feel like you're really good at like leading the conversation, and I like that.
Between you and I in the military, that's what I do. I'm more counselor type, one-on-one, and tell me what you got going on.
I figured that had to do with the military and stuff, so that's awesome.
I got a bad habit of, even when I was not leading the conversation, I always like to talk. I found myself doing the thing where I talk too damn much. But overall, I've questioned myself the last couple of days. Do I want to do something totally different? It would basically be a character, and I didn't want to do that. If somebody watched my season, then they're going to know.
Yeah, I like to talk a lot too. But yeah, I appreciate that, because I really didn't know what to start conversation with. So it helped me a lot.
Yeah, this concept of a show, totally different thing. I was on the online Survivor version.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So totally different thing. As far as all the games that they were talking about earlier, half of those I'd never even heard of. So reality shows not my thing. But it's fun. This is such a cool thing. Just meeting people and getting to know somebody that you would have never had an opportunity to speak to. So
it is really cool to give us like a chance to, like, if we'll never be on that TV show, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But now you're doing something that maybe could be like that TV show.
But I felt like I misjudged her from the very beginning. She first popped on and she was talking about the dogs, just very quiet and timid. But when it was just her and I, she seemed a lot more.
Last night, votes were cast in private to give the player or players with the most votes a safety shield for the round and to be safe from the traitors offing. Raven had the most votes. Nobody knows that she has the safety shield this round. Not even Raven herself knows.
Hello! Hello! You said something yesterday and it really like stood out to me. You were like, all right, so who's sus? And I was like, that's fucking a bold ass move. But I mean, honestly, I was like, I immediately need to align myself with her because I'm on the same exact path. Like, I want to like weed through the bullshit. But I think me personally, I wasn't ready to say it like right off the bat. But when you said it, I was like, oh, absolutely. Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, because I noticed that put me on the spot and I was like, oh, fuck, I said too much.
But that immediately wanted me to reach out to her and align with her because I mean, like that type of, I guess, straightforwardness is what I appreciate. And she wasn't even afraid to say it. She's like, yeah, you know, like we're trying to break the ice, but let's get past the formalities and get the fuck what we're here to do, which is like to figure out some things. So I appreciate that.
Or actually, I didn't think it was as bold as I intended it to be, but
Yeah.
I was just like, oh shit. I don't know if everyone was ready for that. Yeah, I just like I like to jump into things, I guess, sometimes. So
yeah,
this is like a moment to do that.
It was good. It was a good move.
Okay, good. Yeah, I hope so, because I'd rather obviously be on like everyone's good side and everything like that. I'm trying to help the motion of the ocean in the game.
Yeah.
And I want to get everyone thinking. I at first I had a suspicion, not with anyone specifically, but like I guess with the quiet people. I definitely notice when people aren't talking or like bringing up anything.
And we had a really good conversation also about one more person who has been on our radar.
I was gonna ask, what is your opinion about Drea?
Okay, so
let's go. Go for it. I'm here.
No. It's man. I appreciate her forwardness, you know.
Me too.
I'm not saying she's not genuine. I'm just saying that her conversations are not genuine based. She was like selling her wig line, and
I caught the end of it.
It was all about like plugs. And I don't know, you know. I think it's kind of like if this is like speed dating, right? Like the first thing I don't want to know about in a speed dating is how much money you make. I don't care about like your finances. I don't care about anything except for the core of who you are. Like, are you like relatively a good person? And although you can't ask someone, hey, Raven, are you a good person? I'm going to be able to tell that or determine that based on our conversation. Dre is on my radar. There's a certain level of you have to be able to speak. And then obviously you're having a conversation and allow that person to respond as well. And I just don't really see her being receptive to anything. It's more so like nodding my head and then it's going straight into whatever her point that she wants to make. So Drea is someone that is high on my radar.
Another thing that kind of made me was I guess she heard a part of what I think Mike said or Jason, I can't remember, but she was like, you said you only like this amount of people or these people here. I'm going to tell everyone that you don't trust them. And like, then I was just like, wait a second, that's too forward. That's a little too much. Yeah, like she was going to like tell everyone else that they're not trusted by this one person. Just like something they said, which I mean, I don't know if they just said it just to say it or what, but I was just like, that's like totally like splitting everyone apart. And then that's caused, I think, is putting the real fire. I feel a lot of honesty coming from him. I feel like we could be really good allies. We had more to talk about, but time runs so fast in this game. But I think I can trust Anthony.
You know, you got that vibe, you know, and I feel like our energies are somewhat similar, right? Just upbeat, friendly, that kind of thing. And I don't know, just get like this like authentic feel with you, you know? I don't know if it's the ukulele or the background, the tattoos. I don't know. It's something though. But
I even said that. I was just like, I'm trying to be as authentic as possible, and crazy, cringe, and cute is like my thing. So that's just what we're going for, and that's just who I am.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I have to like try to tone myself down a little bit so I don't attract too much attention. But like, it's just, I can't do it. I've had times where I'm trying to be quiet, to chill out a little bit. I like look at myself on the screen. I'm like, bro, you look so awkward though. Like it's worse when you're not talking.
Yeah, I don't like it. I was picking at the idea that, okay, maybe the quiet ones should be the ones to look out for the most, but maybe they're just quiet by personality. Because like, for instance, I feel like me and Jason really talk the most and like can just keep the conversations going and like just adding in that extras. So like, I just like, there's a few people like that didn't talk, like Amancio, I think I'm saying his name right, and Rachel, but there was like a few. So I was just like, but then they started picking up today. So I was like, okay.
I feel like Raven and I had a pretty great connection. We're kind of on the same page about things. I feel like our energies really match.
Drea did something earlier. I don't know if you were there, but she heard Mike, I think it was Mike, say that he only liked this specific group of people that were there. And she was like, I heard that. I'm going to tell everyone that you're not like
Right.
with them, that you're against them. And I felt like that was like a huge separation in the game. My conversation with Dot was probably the most like information filled, because he was the one that told me the finishing story of the Drea and Mike encounter.
So this is my perspective of it, because I was at the end of the chat. And so I think, so Drea was there and somebody else, and then Mike popped in, and then Drea was like, okay, Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what you're saying before about that group being the only person that you could trust or whatever. And I guess Drea got pulled out of it. So like, oh, she hopped in and they're already saying it, something like that. And so Mike was kind of like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like this, I didn't say that, right? So for me, it was obvious that he did say it. That's number one. Yes. Number two, I played games with Mike before. That is textbook Mike, right? Hey, you guys are the only ones I trust. Next chat. Hey, you guys are the only one I trust. I ended the chat. It was like me, him, and Jason and somebody else. And of course, hey, are we thinking that we should stick together? You guys seem so authentic and I can trust you guys. Like, bro, like, hey, yo, you don't know that I play games with you already? You forgot that I know that you do this? Like, oh, man.
So you got part of the story that I didn't get.
I'm always worried about Mike because he won one of the games that we played. And I think that he got second place in the other one. So like he knows what he's doing.
That's what I was thinking
He's
too.
Really good at these games. He's really good at these games.
I gathered that we should possibly be suspicious of Mike. Having played the games before and won gives you plenty of time to really understand these people and understand how to play both sides of the game. And Mike is like the perfect amount of talking / quiet. So it keeps him in this safe spot. And it makes me real nervous, but I'll just keep a real good eye on him this time.
I don't want to go around telling everybody and like put a target on my back, but also I'm like, I don't want this guy to like run the game like he's run the game in the past. There are natural quiet ones. Like I felt like Dar, I feel like he's being pretty quiet, but it was kind of like authentic, like just a quiet guy. Yes. But there are some people, I'll throw a name out, fuck it. I feel like Rachel is kind of like, like she's purposely not saying anything and checking everybody out,
Yes.
So yeah. I'm definitely like, I have my eyes up for the quiet ones, and I feel more trustworthy toward like you and Jason, whoever else. I think it's like the three of us. I don't know who else is being talked. Oh, Lori.
Lori's cool. Yeah.
She seems pretty authentic too.
What if like she's too authentic?
Right.
Why,
that's the thing.
Why would we vote mom out? Because she gives this mom energy.
Right.
In my opinion, I think you, Jason, I feel good about Ashley. She feels comforting. I don't know if it's just because we're gal.
Yeah.
And then Lori, I do still have Lori on like my good list.
Just keep an eye just in case.
I'm keeping an eye on her for sure.
Well, I chose you to stay. I chose to keep you safe, but keep an eye on giving information out. You don't want to tell everybody everything about yourself and what you're doing. Like they're going to use it against you.
And then right as we get cut off, he starts telling me like extra information that I so could have grasped onto more. And like, it just cut him off at the perfect time when he was about to say something that seems so important to this game. I was like, okay.
Hi, Raven.
How we doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Good. A little nervous, but good. I feel like my nerves are going away. I feel like I asked a big question yesterday if anyone was sketched out by anyone, and I feel like that put maybe a little target on me because I just like kind of threw the question out there and was ready to get in the game.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh shit, did I just vote myself out? So
you did something today that did the opposite for me. You said something that, no, it's good.
Okay.
You made me find trust in you already because you were talking about talking too much or you don't want people to think. So I'm the exact same thing, just on the opposite side of the screen of you. So mine is not nervous energy. I'm just a talker. So I'll probably spend this game battling saying, you can trust me. I just talk a lot. I at times felt very familiar speaking to her because I felt like she's very outspoken like me. I have so many of the same personality traits that to others that may not be that way or are off put by that. it comes off negatively, because I could see it being both of us battling to explain to others that it's not a negative thing. That doesn't necessarily make us stand out as a traitor. This is just who we are and how we are. So please accept it, because it's not going to change. It seems like that's who she is, and she's going to continue to be that way. And I really liked that. To go back to the talking too much, were you in the room when Ashley was talking about, and that's a little bit of a thing for me, when somebody says way too much or they're talking too much? Were you in there at the same time with me?
I don't think I was.
Okay, so that was something that came up, and I'm hoping I get a chance to talk with her a minute, because at the very end I did say, hey, just so you know, me talking way too much doesn't have anything to do with me being on the other side, because I'm not. I just talk a lot. She's like, oh no, I put that down as a red flag, that if people talk too much and if people talk too little. But I know that was something to her to say, like, well, if they're talking that much, they must be comfortable, or so I'm going to at least bring it up. I want to tell you, I differed with you on one thing, and that was Lori. Not to say that I think she's a traitor, but you said, please don't let her, or they were talking, please don't let her be the grandma that's a traitor. It was almost that concerned me a little bit, like, what perfect personality for that.
True. No,
we're all going, oh, there's no way it could possibly be her, when in reality, like, it's got to be her. So one of us hopefully will have a one-on-one with her. I haven't had that opportunity. I did with Lauren a little bit, but if somehow you get to talking with her before I do, maybe we can reconnect and talk back, because I just want to see it from a different perspective. Like, wait a minute, maybe it's almost too innocent. Okay, let's pinpoint and let's at least see, because she seems like the sweetest human being alive, and we could get burned by that. So I at least want to know more. That was it.
I really believe him. I feel like he's on the same like page with me about being like talkative, like overly talkative, and it's just our personality. And I can totally understand wanting to talk even more, especially with like such a stressful career that he has. So, and I don't know if it's just because we're both from Indiana. I just feel like we really understand each other's personalities really well.
Another thing that all of the players, including the traitors, must vote on this round are the 2 people they think should be interrogators. Whoever they select as the interrogators will get to choose players that they would like to interrogate and try to get info out before the round table vote.
Probably Anthony and Mike, because I want to see what kind of questions they ask.
I don't trust Lori. That's why I want her to be an interrogator.
The best interrogators, I can't vote for myself, right? I would probably vote for Raven.
My first vote for interrogator is Raven.
Now, the time has come for the first offing of the season. The traitors must choose the first player they intend to eliminate from the game.
Okay, wait. I want to start off. I talked to Drea and she told me she was sus of Elle.
That's concerning. That is concerning. So the public vote, she more than likely is going to throw my name out there. I talked to Jason and he's sus of you.
You know why? You know why? It's because I told him I took a note of him.
Have you paid attention to, what's his name, Mike?
I just had a meeting with him.
Is he cool or no?
He's cool. He definitely, I was swindling people for sure. And like Drea, I was like, I'll vote for you if you vote for me. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna vote for you. But I'm only doing that with one person, because if they talk to each other.
That's how Jason is. So Jason is completely on board. He's looking for somebody to, to align with. My God, he's never gonna play another one of these games with me.
No, like, horrible. That's what I did with Drea. I felt so bad. She was like, no, I trust you. And if you tell somebody you trust them, you're like, you know what? Honestly, I trust you. They immediately get flattered by it and then trust you back. Literally, Armancio, Drea, and Mike, and all 3 of them were like, I trust you.
Rachel was my first one-on-one, and she just had a bunch of questions about the game, like Survivor and Big Amazing Race and all that stuff, but she didn't really have much substance that she talked about. So yeah, that one I really couldn't get anything out of her.
Yeah, I think she was sus of me. We were talking like in the group, but anytime I said something, she would make like a face. So I was like, okay, she obviously doesn't trust me. You know what I mean? So in my head, I was like, I need to vote Jason or Rachel out.
I think I can persuade Jason if we figure out who we want to like target, I think I could sway him.
If you think you can sway him, then I think we should vote out Rachel. What'd you say, Dor?
So I think I could too, probably.
Jason?
So if you wanted to vote someone out, who would you do? Who would
Rachel.
it be? Rachel? All right.
I worry about Drea because she's not shy at all. So in the public vote, she will throw my name out there with no shame.
Damn. It sucks though, because it's like, oh, you actually make friendships low key, and then I'm like, wow, and they're gonna watch it back and be like,
I know. So do you think anybody used their safety vote for Rachel? Could you get a feel? Is she really talked to anyone?
Imagine that'd be crazy.
Communicating? Dude, that would be bad. It's the first week, so I feel like everybody's like randomly just like sporadically voting.
We should maybe vote for someone we didn't have a one-on-one with, and so it doesn't raise like if they've talked to somebody else. Who haven't we talked to?
Should we get out like let's see. The important people, I guess you can say first. We gotta get out Jason and then all the other people. What's her name? Drea?
Drea.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know she would vote me safe till the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she was like, we were like really bonding. Like, she was eating it up. And I was like...
Okay.
So that would honestly be third choice. Like, to make sure we're all safe, then that would be like third choice. You know what I mean?
All right. I would, let's say Rachel, because she like talked no game. She talked
no
game.
I say Rachel number one as well.
As soon as I said Rachel, she was all over it. So I don't think we should have targeted somebody that we had a one-on-one with. We should have tried to stay far away from that as possible. Maybe Amy or, somebody that none of us have talked to. So if she did talk to somebody, she's really isn't going to be able to say anything about me because I didn't talk game with her either.
I think it needed to happen because I think it either needed to be her or Jason because those two people are suspicious of me.
And just like that, the first player has been offed. Now the faithful will learn which one of their own is out of the game.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How is everyone?
I'm okay. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Hello.
Hey, Dar.
Hey, Dar.
How are you?
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
I had a game, so I might not be here the whole time.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey.
Lauren.
How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
Good.
The email said we made it. Does that mean that someone got voted off?
What's up?
Okay.
What's going on?
I guess we're about to find out.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Who are we missing?
I haven't seen Dot or Rachel.
Or
Oh yeah, Rachel too.
Dot,
This is
Rachel.
scary.
We still
So-
haven't seen Drea, Dot.
Yeah, where are they at? Like, are they just not gonna show up or?
Maybe they're late.
So who do you guys think was off, and who do you think is just not
It
here?
gotta be one of them three then. It's Drea,
Yeah, it
Dot.
was one of them.
Okay, who's coming in?
Maybe I feel like maybe Rachel because like they didn't speak as much as Dot and Drea. They were more talkative than Rachel. Like out
Yeah.
of the three that aren't here,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe Rachel. I feel like we're all maybe like using a similar tactic where like we're noticing the ones that don't talk the most.
Yeah.
So maybe that was just a subconscious flag in our heads, and I don't know. I'm throwing out assumptions right now. I know. That's why I was like, we were right. I was right.
Oh,
the traitor.
No.
Who's a traitor?
Well, now I feel terrible. I never even had a chance to interact with Rachel.
Oh my goodness.
Dang. It was in big and bold and everything.
I was sweating because 3 people didn't show up, and we thought all 3 were voted out. But once I realized it was Rachel, nothing of course against Rachel, but I felt relieved because I feel closer to Dot with the information he was willing to share with me.
What if Dot and Drea are the traitors?
Are they in there like?
And that's why they're waiting patiently in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
They're just watching us
today.
So I was actually wondering if Rachel would be one of the ones like in the danger zone because she was so quiet the whole time. I think I only heard her say a few things, but yeah. So it was still shocking when she got kicked out.
Do we?
Raven and Mike were voted.
I want to interrogate.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, let's do it, guys.
Nice.
So how does the interrogators work?
I was just gonna say congratulations, but I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Yes, good job, you guys.
I'm curious. On everyone else's comfortability with Mike, or like if I'm the only one that knows this information now about Mike, or just has this assumption about him.
I saw that me and Raven were investigators. Did you actually explain what that means or not yet?
We have no idea. Can interrogators be traitors? Like, could they be both?
I mean, you never know. They could be.
Yeah.
I feel like an interrogator can be
automatic
either way.
And I was like, wait a minute.
That's just
I'm trying to find the best lighting shout out if I get it. Because, like, you know what? Even if I get lost right away, thank y'all for an amazing thing, and good luck to everybody right away. Just because, like, this is, like the only adult thing I've done in like forever. Like the only adult thing I do.
Oh, thanks, Lori.
Felt.
I love your positivity.
Yeah, you're awesome, Lori.
Such good vibes.
I try to be positive because, like, you know, with like 10 grandkids running around, you got to be something. You can't be negative. So
yeah.
You're a superhero at that point. 10 is.
How many kids do you have?
I do have 3 between us.
Okay. But 10 total,
so, like 13.
Oh wow!
Oh my god! So you should be really good at finding the traitor. Who's lying?
Someone in this room is traitor, or traitors are traitors. 100%.
Was it one?
Yeah, dog. I'm kind of wondering the same.
You said what?
Yeah, really.
I'm wondering the same thing. Like,
so is it one traitor or multiple?
My best guess is 2, and I'll put this on everybody's radar. I probably shouldn't be, but at some point there might be a recruitment, which means that somebody who is a faithful could change to a traitor. It's happened in the show, and I would guess it would only happen if one of the traitors went like early. Just keep that in mind.
Oh, Mike, you're good.
No, yeah,
I watched this show.
So good.
Little too good there, Mike.
I feel like maybe the bigger the group, like the more work we're all doing, watching each other, expressing ourselves, watching what we're saying.
That's it, Anthony. That's
I'm like staring all these screens, and like my eyes are hurt.
We're all just slowly trying to not necessarily build alliance, but build trust with each other. I feel like we're all grasping for anything we can possibly trust with each other to, like, I guess, go towards that alliance-y. That's it.
Dara, I haven't had a chance to really talk to you at all, man. It's just like
so many people, and I'm just like,
I know.
I was gonna do a one-on-one because I just wanna, because I can't read people like that, so I don't know.
Especially in this situation, like without there being any kind of events or things that we're doing competing against or with each other, like it's hard to just look at somebody, especially right now, and say, I trust that person or I don't trust that person.
We're just checking in with each other on each other's day and how everyone's doing.
And that makes it tough. And then, like, you don't want to be the first one to be like, hey, so let's talk a little bit about
exactly.
So while we have that moment, let's do that a little bit. Has anything stood out? Is the red flag?
I said I haven't got any bad vibes from anybody yet.
Mine wasn't bad vibe. Mine was just an interaction or a couple interactions that happened with Drea yesterday.
I did notice that later on when all of us, there was more of us in the chat, and her and Mike were like kind of bickering back and forth a little bit too. So I don't know if that's just like part of her personality or that's just how she jokes around. I don't know, but yeah, I did definitely notice that last night.
Raven is worried about what she should do as an interrogator and wants advice. Too bad she's stuck in a room getting advice from 2 traitors.
Do you guys have any questions as an interrogator? because I don't know how to interrogate.
Okay. I'm thinking, okay,
What would you do?
I would target, like, you have to find like a small slip up in what someone says. Like, take notes on like little things people say, and then just kind of like, move forward with momentum,
Yeah, I was also looking for body language too.
Yeah. Some people talk more, some people talk less, and body language is
I
different.
just be
But
telling
body
you, I don't know what to say most of the time,
No,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
I just be chilling.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it helps with big chillin', and I love that you've just been honest, as far as I know. This is definitely me stepping into a completely new persona. I'm hoping to, like, I was even like with Mike, like, if you want, we could be good cop, bad cop. It would be it'd be really nice to be able to just be more smooth with it and because I love communication versus confrontation. And I'm curious too, because like, I don't know. I feel like Mike for me is in the yellow. Like, he's pretty neutral. I don't have like a full-on read on him.
Yeah.
He has a lot of information, and can that be good or bad? I am a good cop. I don't know if we'll do the good cop, bad cop idea, but I think we're kind of leaning towards that good cop, stern cop will be Mike. If it just so happens like it's me and Mike with the whole group or one-on-one, my tactic would technically be like the good cop, bad cop. I would try to like, and I will be as nice and communicative as possible. Like, I'd rather like communicate with people and ask, I feel like, specific questions.
I feel like you're very talkative and like you kept the conversation going and stuff. So that's probably why I voted for you.
I feel like a lot of us weren't really fully surprised that Rachel was voted out, considering she may have not talked too much and like proved her case essentially as much as as much as us talkers do.
My friend Megan, who played before the one I said, she introduced me to this. I said, do you have any advice before I started like do any of this? And she was like, yeah. She's like, my advice is listen. Like, just shut up and listen sometimes, because she knows I like to talk a lot. So I can try and do that. So we'll see if that helps. But that was the advice I got. So
yeah, I definitely am trying to listen more, because I do talk a lot and I do like have like a lot to think or say or question.
I just don't know who to trust yet. So like, I just don't trust anybody.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like, for me, like, I don't really have anyone in my red. I had suspicion on Rachel, but she ended up being safe.
There you go.
And voted out. And then I had some suspicion on Drea, but I feel like we were just so fresh with each other. It was like we were still just getting to know one another. So I was like, that's just suspicion. It's not like it even like a red flag.
I definitely got a lot out of Raven's information, and I'm looking forward to talking to her more. And I'm actually, happy that her and Mike got to be the interrogators. So hopefully we can get some dirt on some situations. But yeah, I wonder like if Drea and Dot are like, I don't know, if they're like on a what's that island called on Survivor?
Oh, Exile Island.
Exile, yeah. I wonder if they're like on Exile. No, I just was wondering what happened to Drea and Dot, because I kind of was like expecting them to come, and I actually wanted to talk to Dot a little bit about Meg.
It's really putting a target. I don't want to say it. Oh, no, not a target, but a concern. Because I feel like I built a trust with Dot. He was the one that shared the info between the ending conversation of Drea and Mike.
Oh, okay. He's the one who heard that.
Right. Yes. So now I'm thinking, was that true though? Because I wasn't there to see the ending.
So Jason, we were just going back to what you and I were kind of talking about, that Drea and Mike saying
Oh yeah,
that.
Drea. Yeah,
So
I had my own part too in that.
Right.
Wait, so what happened? What happened?
Long story short, yesterday when we were doing the backyard chat, right before I got cut off, I guess Mike was saying that he only trusted this group, and Drea heard it and said that she was
Yeah, I
going to
heard
tell
that.
everyone. Do what?
I said I heard it when she said that too. I had
Okay,
just
yeah. Right.
Yeah, so Drea said she's gonna tell everyone that Mike's
that-
interested a certain group of people.
Right.
Okay.
And my time ran out, so I didn't hear the ending of it. But then Dot told me that when Drea brought it up again, Mike, not neglected, but denied it. Denied saying that he only. Right. Yeah, that he only trusted this group. He denied saying that.
Oh, so he straight up lied.
Supposedly, yes. And then supposedly told that new group he only trusts these people, like that were in that room.
Okay.
So, yeah, so it was a bit of like
a little note. Keep a little eye out. People created drama on their own, so it kind of left me out of the clear, and I could just kind of like be like push them towards that. I did have a one-on-one with Mike. I mean, we were more talking about like strategy, like what the vibe was. Well, it was more like me talking about like my strategy, how to like try to figure it out, and he kind of just like sat and listened, which like was kind of weird because when the first day he was super talkative. I wrote that. I literally put that in my notes. I said, oh wait, you can't see. I literally said Mike talks the most and then didn't talk that day. So, yesterday. So I was like, okay, he's talking a lot and then he wasn't talking that much. I just thought it was interesting. Then I had my one-on-one with him and then it was more just like strategy. You know what I mean? I didn't really benefit out of the conversation. I wasn't like, oh, I think it's him or I don't think it's him. I was just kind of like, okay, like this is my strategy, and he was kind of more reserved as well.
And I was actually really shocked to hear some things I heard about Mike the other night. But it was all good information, like useful information. So yeah, I learned a few things. I've heard that he's extremely strategic, and it's probably his strategy to learn your strategy.
Okay. That would make sense. That would make sense.
So Ashley, I gotta know, is my note Jason talks the second most? Because I had to ask you yesterday.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is what I have. I said Jason, Mike, and Raven talk the most. And then I said,
well, then that means I was kind of right when I said, hey, I know you had been talking about
I didn't want to talk to you though, because our conversation got cut off, and I was like, okay, well now this is like I wanted to talk to you more.
That's a good thing.
I put notes also of like who talked the least.
Hey, how you doing?
I keep thinking like not much has happened yet, but then we have chats like this, and I'm like, it's so juicy, and it's night 3.
But also, like, I have strategies too, and I would love to share with you guys. But then also, like, I'm kind of scared to share because with everybody, you know what I mean? So it's like it's nerve-wracking.
Share, but am I sharing too much? No, we're definitely all on the same page, but also we're definitely holding some information from each other in order to keep ourselves safe, which is totally valid.
Were you guys talking about earlier what Drea said about Mike?
Do you know about it? Because I heard it from third party. I want to hear it too.
So we were in the I think it was like the second group chat yesterday. It happened yesterday. And Drea just put out there, she's like, I jumped onto another group chat that Mike was on, and Mike was telling the group that he only really trusts them or something. And Mike's like, no, I didn't say that. But it ended kind of there. But she like put that out there. We're all like, what? So I don't know if that's what y'all were referencing or
no, yeah, it was.
No, I hadn't heard that. That's kind of odd.
Like Mike and Drea made drama with each other. Like I wasn't even there, and then I was like, everyone was like, "Did you hear what happened?" I'm like, "Oh my god, what happened?" And I'm just like sitting here like being like, oh, "No way!" I'm like, "Wow, that's so sus of Mike." You know what I mean? But like, honestly, it's kind of funny to me. Yeah, because we were also talking about like other stuff that Mike was doing that we were like, wait a minute, he knows a lot about this game.
I had a one-on-one with him yesterday too, and he was asking me about my strategy.
Hold on, because I had a one-on-one with him too. So that's 3 people.
Wow, am I the only one that didn't have one with Mike?
He was
Hold on, I have one too.
Wait, Lauren, was he asking about your strategy too?
He kind of was like he was kind of like trying to get me to talk more than he was, but he didn't really ask me about strategy or anything like that. But I will tell you, I told him a suspicion that I had. It's not very big. It was just like kind of like a fishing line I wanted to throw out there. And one of the people I mentioned was like trying to defend themselves to me yesterday after I spoke to Mike. So I wasn't going to share that tidbit of information that I had at first, but I did feel it was helpful to the conversation that we were having, because I did find out that he spoke to a few more people and they kind of like got the same vibes that I did. So I wasn't going to put it out there until I knew like other people were feeling that way or other people had doubts about him. So I'm glad I did put it out there. So that more of us are on the same page now. So I was just telling him stuff. It wasn't like a suspicion, but it was like, hey, I just noticed like Jason likes to keep the conversation going and he talks a lot, just like how you said. Like, and yeah, I made a note on Raven too, but I just said like she's talking the most, she's keeping the conversation going, she seems trustworthy and stuff like that. And I mentioned that to Mike, and then after that, me and Jason were in there, and he was like, yeah, just because I'm talking a lot doesn't mean I'm a traitor. I just like to talk a lot. And I was like, wait a second.
I was in that room, and I literally took a note.
I was like, why is he trying to defend himself like this? For talking when I just mentioned to Mike that he was talking a lot.
The biggest thing that I took away, and I'm kind of using it as an opportunity, is the Drea Mike confrontation. I'm really trying to turn that around to, okay, it's probably not Mike, it's probably not Drea, because I think a lot of people are going to vote for Mike. It's probably the person who started it. So when I came into the chat, it was Lauren. So I'm pinning it all on Lauren.
Yeah, but now it also makes me suspicious because Mike seemed like very open, and like I was like, oh, he like is trustworthy, so I want to talk to him. And then now I'm finding out all these other people like he didn't lead on that he talked to that many people yesterday.
Yeah, I think I'm just going off of like what I heard yesterday and then today. I think he's probably top of my list right now too.
Oh my god, Dot! How you been?
What up, dogs?
Been?
How y'all doing?
Good.
I had some stuff. I had a couple of sessions I was finishing up, and then I took a shower. So sorry, my hair look crazy.
Wait, sessions of what?
I'm a personal trainer. So did somebody get voted out? I missed the whole team.
Yes, Rachel's gone.
Rachel.
What? Damn, I ain't gonna lie. I thought she was a traitor, yo.
Did you talk to her?
Me too.
I just thought she was mad quiet.
Literally nobody talked to her.
What do you mean nobody? Like no one requested a chat with her yesterday?
Well, everybody I've asked has said I didn't talk to her.
Yeah, I didn't talk.
I don't know if somebody's defending themselves or if they're just like, she genuinely was just super quiet. But she had to have a one-on-one.
I was like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. I don't know if she expected me to come out and say it. I had no plans on sharing that with anyone.
Somebody did, but they're not saying.
She asked for it.
So whoever it was, why would they not say that they had one?
Well, probably because they voted her out.
Well, would that make it suspicious if they talked to her first? I don't know.
Jason, he's not going to remember. I really think he talks too much and forgets what he hears.
I'm in a place where I know enough about Mike and what's already happened from yesterday to know that like I would vote Mike out personally.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to do. That's what I would do. Especially if we have like a group of people that agree, right? If I'm going to be the only one to do it, I'm going to be like, I don't know.
Yeah. That first person to vote is going to be really, really uncomfortable.
Yo, Doc, man, I've been worried about you.
What up, man? That's what they say. I'm alive.
Well, that's good.
That's something about Rachel.
What's crazy is she was my first guest to be a traitor. Like she was like, I think that she straight up is one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she was so like she was just scoping us out. She like didn't say a word at all.
It was such a weird choice because she said nothing. It's like they took the easy way out. Like they could have picked somebody more
like someone that's more of a threat, right? Mm-hmm. I like Lori. It's dumb to say I love Lori, but it's dumb to say. But like the way that she acts and her personality, it's either like she is a traitor or she's not, right? Like she's either like super hype and like being authentic and she's just like harmless, right? A sweet old grandmother, or like she's very talkative and kind of like I'm a sweet grandmother, so I wouldn't be a traitor. type energy. I don't know.
That's
like
what's hard.
I think it's like very
favorite.
strong extremes.
All right, Dot. So now we're talking here, and I feel very comfortable saying it in front of Elle. I've got her pinned as 100% loyal. I'm not concerned with it at all. So just because you said that, I want to put this out there. I had literally the exact same thought on Lori, and I took a little heat because the whole group as a whole is going with this. She's so innocent. She's so sweet. She's a grandmother. There's no way she would do that. I've come to learn this stuff well enough to know that sometimes that's when you need to look and go, well, damn, if she's got the whole crew fooled, that's exactly what we're doing here.
I'll be back in like 20, 30 minutes if y'all want to leave.
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes, half hour.
Whatever. We'll see who else is there.
Good.
All right.
Bye,
See you
Dot.
guys.
All right, folks. Thanks.
See you, Jason.
All right. See you in a little bit. Elle, you got one more minute?
Yeah.
How did that go with Dot? Good, very good move. I love it. I love it.
Really good with Dot. So the last conversation I had, it was Ashley, Raven, Lauren. I can't remember who else was in there, but they're all putting Mike at the top of the list.
I know that concerns me a little bit because I have just the hardest time believing that Mike is one because of the fact that it's so obvious. I made an early promise to Mike, and I'm going to stick with it at least for the moment. And I think I proved my loyalty within the time frame I said I would. Mike's name is coming up. I personally believe that Mike is a beneficial to the faithful right now because he's so smart and because he's so good at gameplay.
What tactics or what maneuvers can we use to kind of like identify, you know? And it's just like paying attention, really just kind of like picking up the details. And it's like, it's challenging, you know, because everyone's coming off as like very genuine people, but it's like picking up on those small little details really is going to help us, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to tell you my thought with you really quick because it's important, at least for me. I, in my confessional yesterday, said, if I stuck at this bad of a judgment of character, I'm probably in the wrong line of work because I think Anthony is just one of the nicest guys. And if he's a traitor, I'm completely screwed. I just have no thought that he is. He's such a nice guy. So you're going to break my heart if you're a traitor, man, because I am not.
Yeah, I really want to like figure out who the hell it is, you know? I have like my ideas, and I'm just trying to just like pick at it like slowly but surely.
You want to, so I'm running short on time. Do you want to do one that stands out to you right now as possibly a traitor? I'll give you one of mine, and then we can kind of say what the reasons were.
Lori.
Yeah, and Lori is nonstop in the conversation. So I'm hoping that between all of us, we at least make that a full-on conversation. I think at this point in the game, really, we're still playing it more of a guessing game than strategic because we're still getting to know each other. Okay, Lori's sitting right up top with me. And since you went first, I'll give you my reasons. I think everybody may have it completely wrong with the Lori thing. She's the sweet older lady that's just awesome to her grandkids and loves this. Perfect opportunity to be screwing people 100% over. And I think it's a facade. I think it's something she's putting on.
I really enjoyed my time with Raven.
Me too.
Yeah, it was I'm glad she's actually going to be an interrogator because I think that although in the moment she's nervous, but I think she's definitely going to be able to pick up on the details. I really appreciate Mike being in the game because I think he understands exactly what to look for, you know?
Yeah, and I think it would be too obvious that it's Mike. At least right now, that's my opinion. I don't think...
Yeah, I was just like...
You put him in there, we're all going to initially think that. But what I was saying to Elle at the very beginning when you first came on is that I'm a little nervous for Mike because his name has been coming up pretty consistently.
And you know, honestly, I think it's probably coming up from the traitor aspect of it because, I mean, like, he does know a substantial amount. He has a good amount of information. So, I mean, that would be like the easiest thing for someone to do is to go for him because they're like, all right, listen, he has a lot of information. He's going to be interrogating someone.
Sure.
So again, why wouldn't you want to get someone like that out of the game?
So I've been in and out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about Mike.
It sucks because I think he's very knowledgeable. But I mean, with that knowledge, is it necessarily because, I don't know, like, where's it coming from, you know?
I mean, because I've watched him in other games and he's very good. He plays hard.
Yeah.
But he does come out of the gate, want an alliance with everybody. But I think if he was a traitor, he probably wouldn't. He would switch up his strategy a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not on the Mike train. So I don't think he is. And then I'm wondering if the people that are pointing him out, maybe they're the traitors. right? Because they're like having everybody flock to that person and kind of gang up on that person. So that's hard to say too, because I don't know who threw the name out there first, but I've been in 2 chats now where he's been top of the list, and I don't know, I don't see it. I think that's too obvious. I had a great conversation with Anthony in the backyard chat. I think he's one that I can align with as well, because I'm not going to vote for Mike, and I'm going to say, guys, I don't think it's Mike. And when he's voted off and he's not a traitor, then I think I'll get more people to kind of gravitate towards me.
I was curious how you would like to do a strategy, because like I started when we were all together and we found out that you and I were going to be interrogators. I was like, okay, what do you guys want to ask everyone? Like, I was trying to see what other people's opinion, because my personality is totally not interrogator type. So I was just like, I don't know what to do yet entirely, but I'm definitely looking for more slip ups. It definitely kept my ears and eyes watching him doing our little one-on-one just now, because I did receive some interesting information.
So a few things. I'm good interrogate. Like I said earlier, kind of, I was half joking, but at the same time, like, I'm okay being bad cop. Like, I want to have a good reason to vote somebody at the end of the day. It would be great, I think, to get out a traitor early. And I mean, the odds, just like if we're firing blindly, are very low. So literally anything that can help would be good. Some thoughts that I've had are looking for people who are not directly accusing or stirring stuff, but who are doing it subtly. So like an idea is to look for the people that are like spreading information to people privately, if the people are willing to give any of that up, or if you can kind of figure that out. Here's just a little aside, and I know this game isn't like super set up for like alliances and the such necessarily. However, I think because we are the first 2 investigators, that it would be in our best interest to look out for each other for at least a little while. Because I don't know what it entails, you don't know what it entails, and we don't know if this is going to put a lot of pressure on us. You must choose 3 players that you 2 will interrogate together tomorrow night. Well, there's our answer. Okay. You have anybody that you'd really like to interrogate? Is there anybody that's like jumping out to you?
You know, like if I'm thinking of anyone that hasn't, like, I guess the people that haven't talked the much, which is Amy, Amancio, but like I don't know if we'd be.
I would definitely agree on Amancio. Like on Amancio's part, he's very quiet, and we can tell him the only reason we're interrogating you is just because you're so quiet, and we're also going to use this as a chance to get to know you. Like we don't need to make these people that we choose feel like they're being put on the spot. And then for investigator, I had chosen Amy and Anthony, and I had chosen Amy because her work history is catching shoplifters, which I thought, oh, if you can identify a shoplifter, maybe you can identify a traitor. And Anthony, because he's very outgoing, at least that was the vibe that I got from our chats. And I'm like, if he finds something, I have a feeling that he will share it with the group.
Yes, I do too. I did a one-on-one with Anthony, and I felt very comfortable in his presence in like a really, really good way. Not like a he's trying to schmooze me over kind of way, but like we were open and honest about even like our first encounter. Like at one point, like the very, very first day, I was like, all right, who's sketched out? And then like Drea was like, ooh, that seems sussy. And I'm just like,
Dre's very opinionated.
I can see that, and like it makes me nervous because those opinions can definitely be just personality or trying to stir the pot a little.
Here's the thing: I think she's either a faithful who's playing very aggressively, or she's a traitor who's playing very aggressively. And either way, I think that it could be beneficial to learn more in an interrogation.
That's a good idea, actually.
And we can say, we know that you have a lot of thoughts, and we just want to get those thoughts from you.
What are your feelings on Jason?
Jason's very, very talkative, very outgoing. So he has played before, as you may or may not know. And I watched that season, and I actually podcasted about the season. So I literally sat there and judged him for an entire season.
Nice.
I don't want to. So like, what I have seen is consistent with how he acted in Survivor. Now, granted, in Survivor, he wasn't either a traitor or a faithful, but like, I haven't seen like a change, like a personality change, for better or for worse. And like, I am a little biased in that I do like Jason. Are you saying you'd want to interrogate him, or are you thinking?
No, I just asking your opinion.
Out of the blue, we were trying to get to the heart of who we were going to interrogate, and she asks me, "What do you think of Jason?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know, so I trust him. I like him. I think he's a good guy. His behavior hasn't changed." Same spiel I'm giving everybody, because again, I think he's the other traitor, and I think he's valuable to my game because I think he does trust me. He's going to try to keep me around. And like, I'm like, to interrogate? And she's like, "No, I just wanted your general thoughts." You know who's going to ask your general thoughts on like one specific person that you don't even want to interrogate? A traitor asking about their fellow traitor to see if you trust them. So we have two, I think. I think we have Drea and Amancio.
Amancio and Drea, yeah. I think
You had
those are
mentioned Elle and Amy. I've had an opportunity to speak with Amy already. She seems pretty legit to me in that chat.
Yeah.
And Elle, I haven't actually got an opportunity to speak one-on-one with her since I voted to save her. So I don't know. I don't know exactly where her head is at. That was just based on first impressions. So if you felt good about one of those, I would be good about one of those, or someone else entirely.
Let's go with Amy.
I strongly suspect Raven of being a traitor. However, I have to survive votes and murders, so keeping her feeling like I'm good with her is very important to my game, because I actually think that serves a dual purpose in protecting me from both of those outcomes.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to this.
No, literally, there's so many ways to go about it. You cannot trust this, or you can tell yourselves that the quiet ones are more of an issue versus the speakative one or the talkative ones. But here we are. So
ooh, it's gonna be fun. I think the two traitors are Jason and Raven. There may be a third, but if there are only two, I think I literally might already have it figured out.
Hey, what's up?
I'm a bunny.
I like that. It looks comfy.
Thank you. Yes, it's after everything, I'm just gonna be a comfy bunny today. With Lauren, I know we haven't really like communicated as much. We're gonna be able to interrogate together, so that's nice. But we had to pick people, so I was like, oof, that definitely limits it.
Yeah.
But we picked people that I guess like just didn't talk as much.
Okay.
So maybe we can hopefully like open them up and get them like speaking or
yeah, that's definitely good. I do want to talk more about Mike, obviously, because I think I got a different first impression of him. So I do want to hear what she has to say about him, since her and him are the interrogators, and I'm not sure what happened with that situation. So I'm really excited to see her input on the whole thing and see what she will be willing to share with me.
I didn't feel as like worried with Mike doing this one-on-one. I feel like that might be a good tactic of his, though, is to keep you very calm and collective and not worried about him.
Yeah, I think I was just saying in my confessional that I think like I definitely had a different view of him from like the first impression he gave me on the first night to when I spoke to him, and then definitely again after like we had that big group chat. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that he like spoke to all these people, and all the same people are like getting different vibes from him like I did. And I don't know, it was just kind of like weird to me that I didn't see that at first, I guess.
Right. Yeah. He's really good at playing all edges, I feel
yes,
like. I feel like we have that in common. Whereas like I feel like I can befriend anyone, almost any genre of person.
Right.
Not all the time, but like as I'm sitting here as an interrogator, yeah, I feel like I made it more easy to be comfortable with.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And maybe that's the same with him, but with it feels definitely he's very strategic. He knows what he's doing and knows what he's saying, and he also knows what he's not saying.
Okay, Armancio, Amy. Amy, I felt like I could trust her. I liked Amy a lot. I liked her energy. I felt like she was trustworthy. And then
I did too. Drea.
Oh, Drea, yeah, because she was like letting beef low key. Because we were like, okay, who's sus? Is it Mike or Drea?
Right, exactly. And that's what I even realized that. I don't know if I brought that up to Mike, but I was like, no, I think I did. I was just like, it would be interesting to have Drea because of that situation. And he was like, yeah, that's going to be a good one. Because I think no matter what to watch as me, to watch both of them and see how they react and see if it's just like personality differences.
She felt very comfortable with me, which is good. We need that. The two possibilities are either Mike lied or Drea lied. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah, I feel like I want to trust him.
Right.
But I feel like I know too much maybe, or like I may know too much about things that don't matter, and I'm just putting my head over speculation and everything. So I'm just like, take it down. Let's just figure it out. So I think like during the interrogation, it is going to be a little bit of, especially with the with him and Drea, I'm definitely going to be watching how they both react to that situation.
I feel like we are kind of similar, so I feel like she was more comfortable and like it was more like a safe one-on-one for her.
What are we doing?
I want to know, how do I know y'all not traitors? Honestly.
Who do I think are traitors?
Let's get into the nitty gritty of it. I think that you guys are traitors.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I think you're a traitor.
We thought that
you
too.
Think that. I can prove that I'm not.
Well, you can't.
Ooh, I like that.
I can.
All right, but people, I don't know if this means anything, but Drea and I were both not here yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the timing of everything, but I mean, I think most likely we wouldn't be traitors because, like.
Well, so you just asked me to prove that I'm not one, so I can give you the dirt on why it looks the opposite way. I think I will at least put me in your good graces. How's that sound? And then we'll get to the whole why I wanted to talk to you, and that's why I asked to speak to you anyway, Drea, because I wanted to apologize. We'll get to that part in a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, because you guys weren't there, that only you two also. Nobody said anything about Rachel, and I think it was because she wasn't noticed at all. We all three really have big personalities, so I think we kind of stand out. But Rachel, and that includes with me, I never even realized she was in the game. I never even recognized her, knew her. I didn't even know she was playing until they said that.
She was just really quiet, and I feel like that's why she was voted out by whoever voted her out.
So within 5 minutes of you guys not being on, it was mentioned amongst the group. Well, I wonder if it's because they're traitors, both of you. Like almost immediately, that was brought up.
God damn.
I went out of my way to say, Dot, exactly what you just said, that would be the most obvious and ridiculous thing ever.
Yeah.
Well, Drea, are you going to say that to everybody, or do you legitimately think one of the two of us or both of us are traitors?
No, I just want to say it.
Okay. Well, listen, I liked it and I hated it all at the same time because I thought it was a very traitor move to do. And she said it herself. Well, that's exactly what a traitor would say. Exactly the way a traitor would call out two people who she knows aren't traitors, or at least one, because I'm not one.
Drea, like, I don't think that you're a traitor because you're very, like, transparent. It's like what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And I can't see you, like, pretending to be nothing.
Yeah, I'm just like, just enjoying this ride, honestly.
So Drea, before we get cut off, because I know we're coming down under a minute, I just wanted to tell you, right from the beginning, we were all getting to know each other, and while you were talking about your wigs and all of that stuff, I went out of my way to say how nice yours looked, and then I don't know if you were joking with me or not, but one way or the other, I was wrong to even say your wig looks very nice. I wouldn't have even noticed because we didn't know each other quite yet.
No,
so I apologize.
With you. I really have such a sweet personality, and it was just like a goose. I didn't take any personal offense to it anyway.
That made it awkward for me because I prepared what I wanted to say to her all day today, just based on our interaction, me and her, and then Dot becoming a part of it. It'd have been great if it was just me and Dot, or great if it was just me and Drea. The three kind of made it tough, and we found ourselves in one of those just talking and shooting the breeze kind of things, as opposed to getting to gameplay.
So what do you think about like the traitor situation?
It's hard to it's hard to read people, you know. And another thing is Mike knows a lot about it, and people were saying I think, who was it? I think Jason said like something about Drea. Is that her name? I don't know if you know her name.
I think, but I was asleep, so I wasn't even there.
Yeah, you could. Is it one? Do you know if it's one or is it more?
For the traitor, I think it's just only one, but it could be more.
How do you feel? Do you feel like anybody like out of the like being suspicious?
I think
my dog is like annoying.
I think it's there could be some people in that group that could be hiding something. Like, I don't know, it might be Lori. I think I have a feeling that she might
expect it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think she might have something up her sleeve. And I think she potentially could possibly be a traitor, just based off of the whole body language and what I seen throughout the whole entire chats have been talking to each other. I think it could be a possibility that she may be one of them.
Yeah, hey, I gotta see if I can read her or something. I haven't really talked to her like one-on-one. So what do you think about this whole situation?
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be fun figuring out who's who and what's what. Like when I was talking to Jason, he was very adamant about saying I'm not a traitor. And I was like, I'm not either, so we're good.
I'm not a traitor. I promise.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you don't know much about me, but hey, I've been trying to read people from like the beginning, and I'm reading good energy so far.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know who could be like suspicious or not.
Right. I heard my name was out there a bunch.
Oh yeah. It actually was. It was. But I only heard it one time, to be honest with you. I heard it one time from Amancio.
There's not much really to read about me. If you read Goofball, then you're there.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell.
Yeah. I actually think it's just a big, gigantic social experiment that they're like, let's just put 14 people from different states together on a Zoom meeting and see how they react with one another.
Dar!
Sorry, this dog. How you doing, man?
What's up, my guy? Over there getting attacked, man.
Oh, this dog keep messing with me.
I got mine right here playing catch.
I want to I don't know, did I schedule this right?
Well, I would hope so.
All right.
One of us.
I wanted to ask, like, I don't really know much, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't read people, so I don't know like who's like the traitor or not. But I want to know, like, what do you think about this whole thing?
Well, it ain't me. Let me start by saying that.
You know what I'm saying?
I know I'm struggling a little bit too. So I'll tell you one thing. I am fairly convinced. There's 4 of us that have done this before, so the odds that one of the 4 of us are pretty good.
That'd be crazy.
But at the same time, I keep. It's not you, right? You better not be no traitor. You're voted safe and want to stick around, man.
Dude, listen, all right. So before you, I forgot his name. His name was Armaro or something.
Amancio.
Yeah. So I talked to him, and I'm going to talk to Lori. So if I'm gone, it's one of them. You know what I'm saying?
It was really good. The problem with Dar is I never come out of a conversation feeling like I know more about him than I knew the previous conversation. He's such a poker face, or that is just really his personality, and he never sways away from it, ever. I think one of the closest I have sitting right now is Elle, is her name?
Elle.
And then Mike and I have also talked about the thought that one of us have to be it. If it's him, I'd be shocked because that just seems too obvious to me.
Yeah, true.
But as far as the whole group goes, man, I'm struggling with it a little bit because there's no challenges or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just like all like talking. You gotta figure it out.
Yeah. And then the one lady, Lori reminds me so damn much of Susan. I'm having flashbacks.
She really does. I was like, I was thinking like, dang, she does remind like of Susan.
Like it's either Susan's doppelganger, or if she starts saying, you know what I'm saying? Like Susan used to all the time. She would always say, you know what I'm saying? If she starts saying that, I'm going to swear to God that's her sister, and Nick allowed her sister to be in the show because they're too coincidental. So do you have anybody that stands out that you looked at or thought or listened to and was like, that's got to be one of them?
So, all right, so I just had another chat. He thinks it's Lori. And I was like, I think it's Lori. I really don't.
She's definitely come up a lot, and I think the shift has become, and I've been a little bit of a part of that shift, is originally everybody thought she was like the sweet, innocent grandma talking about her grandkids all the time. But what if there's an opposite to that? That's the perfect.
That'd be crazy.
Because everybody was saying like, no, she's so sweet. There's no way it's her. And I was like, well, wait a minute. What if that means there is? And then Dot and a couple other people start saying like, yeah, I'm starting to think like that's the act, is that she's getting everybody on her side. Man. All right, we'll continue to feel this thing out, man. It's not you, Dar. You wouldn't do me like that, right?
I promise you. I would not do you like that.
I'm not a traitor. I wouldn't be good.
If I am going, it's most likely the people that I talk to.
If he's trying to convince me, he's definitely convincing everybody else that he has absolutely no idea what's going on. And I now have to try to decide for myself if, based on everything I know about Dar, that is actually true, because I've learned, much like I have with others in the past, that just because they say they're struggling or confused by something, they're the smartest and most key players in these games.
So what do you think?
I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. I do think it's Montiel might be a traitor, just on gut feeling. Just gut feeling. And I'm kind of 50-50 on him. I haven't had the Montiel.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't had the opportunity to speak with them.
I haven't either.
At all. So, but I kind of watch him when we've done the big groups, and he's real quiet. He does add to the group, but he is kind of quiet at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time I've ever done anything like
Me
this.
too.
Like, I'm just barely starting off fresh at 52 years old and 8 grandkids at home. I'm just like, oh.
I'm 52.
Right on, yeah.
I'm a grandma too.
Yay, we'll go for the grandmas, yes. I was like,
well, I can tell you, your name has not come up once. Everybody loves you. You're like,
oh, awesome. Yes, I'm having such a blast. I've been told already that my name's popped up a bunch, and they're like, and I know that there's a couple of people that are suspicious of me, and they're like, how can you be that positive all the time? And I'm like, because it's a life choice. Dar, I did talk to Dar earlier tonight. He seems like he's pretty good with it. He's got like a little strategy.
He kind of sits back and observes. Happy to hear that Dar talked to Lori. And everybody's kind of observing Dar as not a threat, that he's just kind of sitting back and observing and not saying much, which is totally cool. I'm on board with that.
I do want to talk to Drea though, just because like on the first night, like again, how it was saying, on the ticker thing, hey, you have there could be 2 traitors among you already, and Raven brought it up. Drea said, well, that's sauce. I'm like, what does that mean? Because like I'm old school, and like when back in my day when somebody said, hey, that's sauce, it meant that was cool. So I'm like, there's like a big language barrier there.
Lori is a big player in this game, so we've got to be really strategic when we vote her out.
This game is tripping me up. I have been trying to spot stuff, and I'm like maybe, and then I'm like maybe not. Like, it's really got me like.
That's where I am too. Nothing has been said. There's a couple like nervous energy situations I've felt. But other than, like, I don't know that person on a personal level, so it would be rude of me to judge them seeming nervous to me, because they could be judging me by talking too much and I ramble on. So I don't want that to be a sign to somebody that I'm a traitor, the same way they probably don't want them being a little shy or not as talkative to be a sign.
Yeah. Everybody keeps talking about, people that don't talk, we gotta keep extra eyes on, and I'm like, I'm quiet to begin with. I'm like, that doesn't help me. I'm like,
yeah, for sure. well, and I'll be honest with you, that was my thought with you at the very beginning. Like, wait a minute, is she just listening and observing everybody, or does she just not talk very much? Because the very first big group one, I don't even think we had a chance to interact or anything like that. I think it was like either that later in that night or the next day before I was like, oh, hey, Amy, how you doing? Like, so I know if I was seeing that, probably a couple other people, the ones that are concerned with didn't talk enough, the same ones that are concerned with talk too much, that would have stood out. So, but it doesn't mean anything. That's the problem, is it doesn't mean anything. It's somebody's opinion on what that might mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I get it. It's like everybody's going to have their own thought process. And in this game, you know, it could mean something, it couldn't. So I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, she's way more talkative than I thought. And I hope that I gave her good advice, that the same way people say that I talk too much, there's also people that are going to talk about those that talk too little and what they're trying to do or what their gameplay is. Amy was right in the middle of that. I think she's always been really nice, but she kind of stayed off to the side and was almost a little off-putting when it's the big group, and kind of just hearing all the time. And I know that stands out. It certainly does to somebody like me. So how do you feel about if somebody's personality changes a little bit? Do you think that's a hint or no?
I would think it's a hint if their personality changes after like a specific conversation with somebody, or after getting like called out in a group or something.
Okay.
Are you talking about Mike? Are you talking about?
No, I was actually talking about Amatio, but I know exactly what you're talking about. So, yeah, I was in that conversation, so I know a lot of people feel that way. Like, he put it out there, and then now he's doing it. But I was talking more about, there's been a couple, like Amatio is one of mine, where we've had conversations like you and I are having, and he was very talkative. But then within the group, he was like super, super quiet. So I don't know if, again, I kind of make a situation where I'm asking questions, and if you don't answer, then it seems odd. So I think he was with me. But then the other day, he was just so different. And then my other one is Lori, that I'm all over the place with.
Yeah, I like Lori. Like, I think her personality is awesome. Like,
me too.
And I like when she talks like about her grandkids, because you can see how like excited she gets. But I'm like, that could be like the perfect cover.
The best ploy ever.
But I'm like, I kind of don't like myself for thinking that way.
No, and so I think I was probably one of the first ones to say, like, everybody's got the perfect grandmother thought on her. Let's at least visit the idea that it's, well, of course I want you guys to think I'm the most perfect one. So I talked to Dar a little bit ago, and I forgot to mention it to him because he said he was talking to Lori, and I was going to tell him, hey, make sure you ask her how many grandkids she has, because I remember her saying 10 yesterday. So if he asks and she says, well, I have 6, then I'd be like, all right, that's it.
Wait, did you catch that? The first
Yes.
call we had, I thought she said she had 6. I wrote down 6. And
Okay,
she said
then
10.
Maybe the total is 10, and she has, I think it's 10 total. The 6 is hers. And I think the 10 is she must be remarried or with someone else.
Okay.
So I guess the number I should have said is if it's 5, then we know something's different.
Gotcha. Yeah.
A poor grandkid is no longer in the story anymore.
Yeah.
But those are the little things I've been paying attention to.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, because the first night she was in my first room, and I wrote down 6, and then I remember her saying 10 the other night, and I'm like,
okay, so then we're at least thinking the same thing. That needs to be brought up again then. And Lori is one that has stood out to a point and has some storytelling within conversations with her that stand out to each person a little bit differently. So for me, that's a really good starting point on how are we going to start to judge other people, or what is it going to look like at each one of these? What kind of information are we looking for to make that person, I guess, a target is what you would call them.
So then either Drea's lying or Mike's lying. So then now it's like everyone's like freaking out because they're like, who's lying?
So I had a conversation with Elle and Jason, right?
Okay.
Maybe it was like Jason and Lauren. So Jason was like, hey, listen, have you heard about like what's going on with Mike? And I'm like, yeah, no, not really. I mean, like, I guess I'm just kind of like oblivious to it.
Right.
He was like, same exact thing what you just said. And he was like, his name is coming up. And I guess he rubbed a few people the wrong way.
Oh, so the second day I had a meeting with Mike, and he was so quiet. Like, his personality was completely different. I don't know if he had a bad day or something, but even in a group, people were saying, oh, I noticed Mike wasn't talking that much today. And then the next day he comes back and he's talkative again, telling us all the rules, telling us all these things we didn't know. And then he was like, oh, also you have to keep in mind if somebody's personality changes, that could be a really big thing. I feel like I'm getting a little too comfortable. I don't know, that is a fear that I have.
Like you're very personable. Like it doesn't seem like you're not hiding anything.
And Anthony, he said in that conversation, I'm pretty sure that he trusted me. So that was like, okay, that's all I need to know.
So I'm sitting down, just having a regular conversation, and then your name comes up in the sense of you will be the next to be eliminated. So I'm thinking to myself, so it was so odd that it happened, because it was right after you were talking about like, hey, listen, this is a strategy, because you were going into like in depth about the things that you pretty much know about like how this operates, right?
Yeah.
Then literally my next conversation, was it Lori? No, it wasn't with Lori. Fuck, I gotta go through my notes because I want you to know who this person is. They're like, yeah, so we're thinking about like nominating Mike, and I'm like, as what? Like I'm trying to like go deeper in this. She's like, yeah, I think he just rubbed a few people the wrong way, and I'm like, oh, really? Like, what do you mean? Like, how did he do that? And they're like, oh, well, he's just really forward, and his approach isn't really appreciated.
Yes, it was so good to see Anthony and get a chance to connect with Anthony. It seems like he trusts me. He's on my side. It's interesting that he is bringing that to me, and as long as he wants me around, then I can live with him. And I knew I would be opening myself up both to the threat of being murdered and to the threat of being voted out for it. Yeah. I'm hopeful that it would be tough for a majority to decide to vote me out, because I don't really think that that's going to be valuable.
If you get a chance to, please speak with Jason. Jason was really, it was fucking L.
I appreciated Anthony's information, but he didn't even seem sure on the name that was bringing my name up. Just the fact that it was being brought up, which isn't necessarily a surprise. I unfortunately did not get to join the Backdoor Chat as long as I had wanted to on Monday, and I guess things ran amok while I wasn't there.
It was definitely L. That she was vague about like who those people were. And Jason was very like he was speaking a lot about L and positive, and it's so funny that she was doing the same exact thing for him. So those are two people that like I am hoping that I get some more time with.
Every season I have ever played, my back has been against the wall. And guess what? Every time I last log in and I have any business lasting, I am a little worried. But I feel okay. I will get out of this.
So this is me showing you. I meant what I said the other day. Certainly at the beginning, me and you're going to be loyal to each other. Your name definitely got brought up quite a bit. I did do my best to do some downplaying, and there's no possible way that would be way too obvious type. Something that got thrown around a couple different times from totally different people. One when it was a lot of people, and then again when it was like just very little people, was Mike gave us the advice to make sure we don't ever change who we are and how we act. And then he was very quiet when you were on. They were like, somebody said, why was he so quiet when he was on?
Sports game, folks.
I know, and I did do that part too. I kept going on my way to say like, I got to get going because I'm watching the game too. And then again, I said like that would be the craziest thing, and it would make no sense for Mike to be one because it would be way too obvious.
Jason, my buddy, my BFF, my number one ally, who I'm sitting here in every confessional going, this man is a traitor. He's so ready to just defend me, and it's because he knows who they are, and he knows I am not one. I know that's awful, but like, there has to be another name. That's my concern. It's all well and good, but if like legitimately no one else is brought up as a serious contender, the people will probably just pile drive on me.
Yeah. So
I'm curious if you have a sense as to who started it.
Yeah, but I think it was. Gosh, a couple of them got different colored hair. Like, I want to say the name was Ashley.
I could tell Ashley when she looked at me at one point when I was explaining.
She's just very in tune with the notes.
She said, "You're good, almost too good." Like she literally said that.
Yeah, she put. That's what it is. That she has her notes, and then that's all she said was, "I know we're keeping an eye on people's behavior changing. So if Mike's behavior changes, would that mean anything, or does that not mean anything? Because he's so good at this."
You mentioned Ashley, and like here's the thing: like regardless of Ashley's actual affiliations, Ashley really can't seem to get off of targeting me and Jason. And I had this chat with Ashley where I tried to point her in a different direction. was hoping that would work. However, I guess my behavior changed. If I'm the traitor, I'm not telling people that there's that recruitment exists.
And I'm telling you, Mike, that's why, even though this is me showing you that I'm loyal to you, at the same time, it was a very easy explanation. And I think it was taken because it seemed to die down after that. I feel like I'm giving him the information that I promised I would. We both shared with one another, at least for right now. I want to reiterate that if something stands out that would put us in a bad place, we're going to tell the other. And I felt like his name was definitely coming up multiple times the other day. A lot of things shifted toward Lori. And that had a little bit to do with me. Lori's coming up all the time because there's two different sides to what everybody thinks about her.
I think voting out Lori would be a mistake, personally.
Okay, go with it. Let me hear. Because I'm on the fence based on what everybody else is saying.
Out of curiosity, what is the reasoning? Do people genuinely think she's a traitor? Like, is that her?
I think it's kind of like with me. It's more out of curiosity. We need to know what the truth is, because I think I've had 3 or 4, like, she's the perfect grandmother and there's no way she's a traitor. Then we have the other side of it's too good of a facade that she's got this and that happening. She's happy-go-lucky and she's like the sweet, perfect woman.
People wanting to vote Lori. He's like, people keep bringing up Lori's name, and I'm wondering if this is like a name that he's just trying to get into the mix now. I don't think we're going to be able to get votes on Lori. I think if the vote turns into a Lori v. Michael vote, I'm going to lose that. I don't love that. If it was legitimately just me, it would be to get rid of someone who's super duper quiet, not contributing anything, like Amancio or someone like Drea, who's like stirring it up. Or and this is just me just getting defensive too, but if like Ashley is coming for me, she's either going to be a dangerous, like harmful to my game, selfishly faithful, or she is just a traitor trying to get rid of someone.
That would be my thought, that she's looking to get rid of somebody that's strong.
I think Anthony confused Elle and Ashley.
Well, Amancio was somebody I'm concerned with, because Amancio has changed a little bit on me twice. Not necessarily on me personally, but he was different. Yeah. He was different with me than he was amongst the group. Not just like talking wise, but whole character. Everything about him changed a little bit.
I appreciate Jason. Like I again think he's a traitor, but guess what? Right now, he's valuable, super valuable. If I'm right, him being my ally is literally the best play, and I will take him. And if I can find more information, maybe solidify the fact that I think it's Raven, or if I find someone else, like if I can just take that and then just like pull the rug out, final 8, something like that, and just say, here's all this evidence. Listen to me. Maybe I'll have enough credibility left to pull out a win.
I got some info for you.
I do love information. Let me get my pen clicked. What's up?
So my first one-on-one was with Jason.
Okay.
And Jason and I agreed that you're probably not a traitor, because that would be way too obvious. I was talking to Anthony as well. He didn't think so. But then I walked into a chat, and I guess something happened with Drea. And everybody was going, well, Mike was making alliances with everybody, and you're on people's radar.
As far as the whole Drea thing is concerned, something happened with her. Are you saying she's the one putting my name out, or is it?
Well, it was actually Lauren. I walked in, and Lauren was talking. They were talking about an incident that happened with Drea. Drea came in, and everybody thought that she thought everybody was talking about her, and she thought she had walked into you trying to get an alliance together with the people in there.
All right, yeah. So this does come back to it. I heard her say this because she said it like right after. I joined a chat like less than a minute later. She joins the chat and starts saying, and you were saying you only trust these people. I straight up thought she was joking.
You are very outspoken. Drea is very outspoken, and somebody took that as an opportunity of a clash and to direct the attention onto you.
Yeah.
So Lauren is the one that kept bringing it up in the chats. So that makes me a little suspect.
And I will try to set this straight, because I think Elle and I are thinking so similarly. I'm so glad to get this chat with Elle. In that I think whoever's most stoking Drea to go after me is a traitor, potentially, or a faithful who just wants me out. Also somebody I'd want to get rid of. And that might be Lauren. According to Elle, Lauren really was pushing that, which is unfortunate. We don't want to be looking necessarily at two people going at each other. We want to see who put them on that warpath. Raven and I get the opportunity to talk to 3 different people. I'm assuming it's like a 2-on-1 chat. We chose Amuncio, we chose Drea, and we chose Amy. I don't think we think these people are traitors. We just chose those people to get more information out of. Raven thought Amy was quiet. I thought Amuncio was quiet. We both thought Drea was not. And we just wanted to get more information about where her head's at. Although I'm starting to learn where her head's at right now.
They're looking at Amuncio and Amy because they're so quiet, but nobody's really brought up Dar.
I liked you a lot on First Impressions, so I do want to work with you if I'm not just the first person voted out. For what it's worth, the way you're talking right now about things, also just to me, you're a faithful. Like, you wouldn't be trying to get to the heart of the matter if you were a traitor. You would want to just stoke the fire. You get what I'm saying?
I really don't want Mike to go because I think we need that voice. He's entertaining. So if the conversation gets going, I'm going to be, you guys, it's not Mike. And then when he's found out he's a faithful, maybe they'll use my voice as somebody that they can align with.
So I know this is the first I'm really hearing about Lauren. I know Ashley also was mentioning me yesterday in the backyard as someone who talks too much and might be a traitor.
Ashley, on the other hand, I think she might be talking too much. Hopefully she can tone it down, because what I got from Mike tonight is he's on her radar. I got that from Jason. So I hope that she can kind of tone it down a little bit.
I was at a basketball game at halftime and spent a good chunk of my time with the mic muted after explaining that. And apparently once I left to go back to the game, Ashley was like, hey, I think Michael's behavior changed because all of a sudden he was quiet, like completely missing the context of where I was and what I was doing. Whatever.
I didn't realize that you really have to play both sides. You have to play to win, and you have to play to win based on your role. And you know what to do with the faithfuls, right? You know that strategy is easy. You got to get them to trust you. But I didn't realize that there will be a whole nother realm over here of how you needed to manage your fellow traitors. That kind of hit me like a ton of bricks.
it's gonna be close, unfortunately, right off the bat. But I really do appreciate the information, and I'm glad that we're thinking very similarly, I think, about this. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful of my ability to stop this train that's oncoming at me and turn it onto either Lauren or Ashley. If Lauren is indeed coming for me, I hope she's not. I like her. Ashley did tell me to my face that she was considering going for me, and I thought we put that to bed, but it seems like we haven't. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for her right now.
I think I'm leaning towards Lauren if none of us get to talk before the vote. I think that's where I'm leaning towards.
Okay.
For no other reason than then that she was just flaming the fires, but she may not have been the only one.
Who is stoking you to come after me? Mm-hmm. Like, that's who we need to go for.
Who's instigating them?
It might be Lauren, it might be Ashley.
So I'm not going to be able to defend Ashley. She's just going to have to. I won't vote Ashley, and I won't vote Mike. I think those would be 2 poor moves for me to make.
An all-new Traitors OCG returns next Tuesday.
So, why did you guys choose me, just out of curiosity?
Raven and Mike do their interrogations.
Back to the interrogation. Who do you work for?
But Mike is focused on saving himself.
Guess what? I get to interrogate Amuncio, and guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try to get him on my side.
What will that mean for the Mike and Drea drama?
But I don't know if you're a traitor or not.
I don't want there to be bad blood between us.
And what will happen at the first roundtable vote of the season?
So I'm just gonna put it out there because in the backyard chat, I was in and out. I missed a lot of people's conversation. And when I walked in, Lauren was talking about the drama between Drea and Mike. And
They'll ask me, and I might be wrong. It might have been Dot or Anthony. Like I said, I didn't write it down.
And that's the 3rd time your name came up about asking about it.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Drea's got a big personality, so when she says your name, it's heard.